Hello, and today I'm going to be talking about some of my 2015 bookish goals and resolutions. This video is going to be in two parts. The first part will be my general reading and book goals, and the second part will be my booktube goals. So for part one, my general reading and book goals. My first goal for 2015 is to read 5 classics. I have read 2 classics this year. I read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Peter Pan. I think that's a classic. It's a children's classic anyway. And I really like classics, but I haven't read very many, so hopefully in 2015 I can read a few more. My second reading goal is to read at least 5 graphic novels. I have never picked up a graphic novel to my knowledge, and that's a fact that makes me really quite sad because they look fun and interesting and just a generally really fun genre, but I've never got into it, so I want to this year. My third goal is to read at least 1 book a week. I seem to go through stages where I read nothing for months and then I can read 1 book a day for like 2 weeks, which is really weird, and I want to get more consistent, so I want to read at least 1 book a week. Sort of tying into that, my fourth goal is to read 60 books in a year. My goal this year was to read 52 books. I managed to read 50 so far. I've got a few days left, so hopefully I'll be able to get to 52. But like I said, I've been very inconsistent with my reading. The next 2 goals are somewhat related. The first one is to reduce my TBR. I have quite a few books, not sure how many, but I own quite a few books which I have not read yet, and they're just sitting on my shelves collecting dust, and it makes me sad. The next goal that ties in with that is to not buy more books than I read, because this year particularly I've been buying lots and lots of books and they're just sitting behind me. They haven't been read, they're just chilling on my shelf, which seems a bit stupid to me because I bought them because I was enthusiastic about the stories and they just haven't been read. I'm not sure what goal I'm at, I kind of lost count because I kind of tied some together, but I want to make a TBR jar and stick to it. This is going to be slightly difficult because I can't pick one out every month because most of the year I'm not going to be living here because I'm going to be at university. However, I have got books there with me. Maybe I can make 2 TBR jars. One for here and one for at uni, because I have quite a few books at uni already, more than I should have, because I don't know how I'm going to get them home. But I want to make a TBR jar and I want to actually use it, because I made one last year and I used it for the first month and then put it somewhere and I don't know where it is now. And this time I want to make one and actually use it. The next 2 goals have to do with the type of reading that I do. I mainly read books in physical form. This one I haven't actually read, but I normally read hardback or paperback books, and I don't stray from that very far. I have a brand new iPad because my old one died, and I've downloaded loads of books onto it. The same books that I had on my old iPad, and it made me sad to know that out of all the ones that I had on my old iPad, I had 50, 60 on there. I've read about 3. 5 maximum, and that's just rubbish. And since I'm at university and I can't buy the physical books so much anymore, I should use ebooks more, and I want to use ebooks more. Also, I want to start listening to audiobooks. I have never listened to an audiobook before in my life, but I think it's something that would make reading easier for me. I'm dyslexic and sometimes my dyslexia plays up quite a lot if I'm stressed or frustrated or if I'm tired and the words just move and jumble and the letters just, they switch and sometimes I can't read, and it's frustrating because even if it's a book that I've read before, it's happened with the Harry Potter series when I was reading it for the 12th time or something, my brain couldn't comprehend what the words were and the order was just all messed up and it just didn't make any sense in my brain. So I think audiobooks for those times would be very helpful. The last bookish reading goal I have is to do with Goodreads. My Goodreads currently reading list. At one point this year I had 9 books that I was currently reading, which is just insane and random and quite stupid. So I want to have no more than 4 books that I'm currently reading. The trouble is I found that I got bored with one book, I put it down, I picked up something else, in my mind I was still reading that book, but in reality it was just sitting in my pile of books that I was reading and didn't go anywhere. It just stayed there and stayed there and stayed there, and I never finished it. So I want to reduce my amount of currently reading books to make sure I actually read the books that I am currently reading. And now on to the booktube goals. The first goal is to make more videos. I really love the whole filming and editing, even though it takes a long time. I enjoy the editing and just creating the videos, but I haven't done that many since I started in August. I've only made a handful of videos and I really want to make more. So my aim is to make at least one video a week. I know this isn't always going to be a realistic goal, for example during exam weeks and I barely have time to eat, let alone spend an hour trying to edit a video, and for those weeks I'm going to let myself off. But for general, normal, everyday weeks, is that a sentence? For general, normal weeks, I want to be able to put out at least one video a week. I don't mind what type of video it is, haul, book talk or whatever, but I just want to get one video out a week. My second and last booktube goal, I know there wasn't very many of them, is to make more reviews and book talks, whatever you want to call them. I'm not very good at sharing my opinion. Like I mentioned previous in this video, I have dyslexia, which means sometimes trying to get what I think out of my brain is not always the easiest thing to do. And it's not just with writing down or whatever, it's with talking as well. I have the ideas, I just can't formulate them sometimes. So I want to try a lot harder to get better at it. I was afraid to begin with that people would think I was stupid or would just, I don't know, just not like me doing book talks or whatever, but I really like talking about books and that's why I joined BookTube to begin with. That's why I created an account, to share my views on books. I just, through fear and whatever, I just never did that. So in 2015 I really want to do reviews and wrap-ups of all the books that I read. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. I don't mind whether it's like one review for one book, a review for a series, or just a monthly wrap-up. I just want to get my thoughts of the books out there. I mean, I have done a bit with like wrap-ups from readathons and stuff, but I haven't really done it to the full, and that's something that I want to improve on. And lastly, a random sort of bookie goal is to put all my books onto shelves. I currently have this shelf and only this shelf to put my books on. Our house went under some construction work a while ago now, and I was going to have lovely bookshelves and I was going to be so happy and everything was going to be nicely organised, but we never got around to the whole bookshelves part. So I have one bookshelf and all my other books are stacked quite high on the floor and just are put under tables and are just generally disorganised and a complete mess. I want to get them organised, put onto shelves and just looking pretty. just looking pretty. That's what I care about. But I feel bad because I never know what books I want to read next, because to find them I have to crawl under a table or my desk or ferret through different piles that I can't see because there's piles and stacks in front of them, and I just want to get that sorted. Okay, I think that's it for my bookish goals and resolutions. Please feel free to let me know what some of yours are down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!